while since I've done anything. Work's just been too busy, so but finally, it took a long time, but finally I've got myself an MSX MIDI PAC by Supersonic, or Warp 3. So this is a custom-made MSX cartridge to allow the use of just about any MIDI module of your choice to work with an MSX. Yeah, if anyone watched that Doom video I made, I filmed that using my trusty, beat to shit, ugly as hell Roland CM-500 sound module here. Now I'm gonna admit this thing kind of looks like, you know, a modem from like 1982, but this is actually, in my opinion, one of the most convenient MIDI modules to get. Now I'm far from a MIDI expert, so if anyone wants to complain and say that my stats are wrong, that's okay. But this is basically a Roland MT32 and Roland SC55 in one. It's got a little switch on the back, very easy to use, which is one reason I like the CM500. Just 4 settings. One is, you know, SC55 by itself, which is what you want to use for GS. The other is MT32 by itself, and then the other 2 switches are kind of both on. In one case, like, the MT32 is the low channels, the SC55 is the higher, and the other way it's reversed, I think. But, you know, very little is meant to use SC55 and MT32 at the same time. It's usually one or the other. But I think these are kind of sought after and hard to get out of Japan, but as you can see, mine's, you know, faded to hell and, yeah, beat up, but I found this in a hard off for 2,000 yen, and it still works beautifully. So yeah, MIDI is pretty simple, you know, you got your MIDI cable which goes in, and then output-wise, Roland likes to use the jumbo headphone jacks, so it's got mono for the 2 channels. There's also a stereo jack meant for headphones themselves, but I just use the individual mono channels, which have you know, they're giant headphone to RCA, so it works pretty damn well. When I made the Doom video, I just used a cheapo USB MIDI cable, which makes it really easy to play like computer games through the module, which is quite nice. Okay, so yeah, so the MIDI pack comes with this little box, and it looks kind of nice, but the cable that, of course, you need to hook up to the module actually comes wrapped around like the cardboard, and these are actually glued in place, so you have to actually like break the glue to get the cable out, which is kind of lame. So I don't think this box is going to last very long, but it looks nice though. So yeah, I've already got it basically set up. See, the MIDI pack itself is just an MSX cart, and as you can see, then it's got a little output which is mini USB, which it comes with the cable. It's mini USB on one end, MIDI on the other. And okay, so this thing will work with literally any game that uses the FM or MSX Music sound chip, meaning with the exception of one game, this won't work with the Konami games. So anyone because the Konami games all use PSG and the SCC chip, which is also PSG. I do believe Konami made one like Formula 1 racing game that does actually use the FM, but if you're an MSX Konami fan, this won't be much use to you. But thankfully Compile and other companies took advantage of the FM. So when you got that card in there, it basically just takes the FM data and, you know, creates a MIDI driver file and sends it to the module, meaning music is generated by the MIDI module as opposed to the internal FM chip. So what you get is a much clearer, very rich sound. Admittedly, some people might not actually like how it sounds, But of course, you can always throw in like a MIDI mixer and screw around with it and do what you want. But I don't know. I mean, I love the original Lesta soundtrack, but it sounds quite cool with the MIDI pack. I just got this today, and already it's a neat little toy to mess around with. So yeah, it gives like a Lesta 2. They all work fine with the MIDI pack. I mean, there are some games like Fray, which uses FM and PSG, so I haven't tried that out yet, but I'd assume in that case, I'd just get like half the music or half the sounds because it uses both, and obviously this does not do PSG. I mean, so yeah, it took a while to get one of these cards. They're homemade, but very nice quality. And out of the box, the MIDI pack has your basic general MIDI GS driver in it, meaning any module that supports GS should work and sound appropriate just by plugging it in. There are alternate drivers, so like if you want to use an actual MT32, or if you want to put your CM-500 in MT32 mode, you can simply flash it with the new driver, and then it'll be matched up properly to use with, just a standard MT32, but I like the general MIDI, I like the GS. So for now, that's all I'm using. So eventually I'll probably do some, actual recordings of some games, so you can actually hear the music, properly, as opposed to over the camera here. But for now, just give you a tip, a quick look at this thing, and yeah, if you watch any, vid of the normal Lesta, I think you'll notice quite a difference in the sound. Whether you like it or not is kind of, personal taste. I generally am kind of a purist in some ways, but I gotta say, I really like how this sounds. It's kind of neat. You just turn it on. Oops. Forgot to turn on the module. Duh. Which you have to turn the module on first, because when the card initializes, it opens up the communication with it. So yeah, you're supposed to turn it on first. It also has a neat little LED. See, it flicks on, and it can flash different colors to tell you if problems or anything. Yeah, that sounds way different. It's definitely much clearer. Whether you like the tone or not, again, is up to you, but yeah, I like it. It's kind of neat. So, it's time to balance the camera and, but yeah, I'll do real recordings of this and a few other games as I get to them. Quite different, huh? I mean, it's the same music, it's just going for the MIDI module. But the Lesta does have a sound test, so I'll do that later, but for now, let's just play it. Because Lesta uses the FM for like everything, including the sound effects, and like the def sound, so watch. Much more dramatic def sound now. I've heard some people really don't like how it sounds on here for the MIDI module. They say it sounds like elevator music, which it kind of does, but I like it. Alright, and the card itself, you can actually like adjust stuff. Like you can adjust different tones and different instruments and disable some and enable some. It's got a lot of options if you feel like messing around with it through MSX DOS. But of course the easier way would just be to, you know, hook up a MIDI mixer, an actual physical one, and just do it that way. But yeah, you can screw around with the card's software. Download drivers to use the MIDI module of your choice. This is the kind of thing that, you know, it's a neat toy to play around with, and it's definitely going to make me play for all my MSX games again that use the FM. That sounds so awesome. I love the way that sounds on here. Oops, totally just missed the upgrade I wanted. And I've had a few beers, as always. I really don't like filming sober. It's just, just bore myself to death. Speaking of which, you know, I was talking to this awesome dude named Cybot on the PC Engine FX forum. Awesome dude, and you know, I so want to go to North Korea and bang a North Korean chick now. I mean, just think about it. Like, communist sex? Holy shit, man. Like, you know, I mean, you know, everything else they do has like some kind of step-by-step manual, and they've got to have one too. You know, it's gonna be like, step 1, look at chick. Step 2, get naked. Step 3, insert penis. Step 4, ejaculate. Step 5, forget it ever happened and have no feelings for her. And like, you know, if you deviate at all, you probably get shot in the head. They might, you know, which, you know, that kind of action probably gets old and boring pretty quick. But I don't know, maybe just one try kind of excites me. But of course I'm American, so I can't. They're not gonna let me into North Korea. Probably a good thing. But yeah. You know, the whole idea of the forbidden fruit. Can't go there, can't touch them, so I want to. But yeah, so if you like MSX stuff and you've got an old MIDI module sitting around collecting dust, or you find one cheap, it's a pretty cool little device. It's one reason I like real hardware, you know. People find emulation convenient, but one, it's not the same, and two, you know, you don't get to do cool shit like this. I mean, even if you emulate something like this, it's just, what's the point, man? You know, I've no problem with people emulating, but God, that sounds awesome. But yeah, real deal for life. Forgot how long this first level was in this game. How much time I got left on the tape? Yeah, we'll see how far we get. I probably won't make it very far. I haven't played this in quite a while, and this is one of those games that once you start dying, you just keep dying. Alright, finally into the first level. Do 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 do. Yeah, it's level 1. I'm gonna have to put a cable together though, because I prefer to play in the RGB, but I'm using the S video right now. But of course my RGB cable is meant to take audio directly out of the MSX, and I need to take it out of the MIDI port and combine it with the RGB, so I'm gonna have to make a little adapter thing so I can actually get sound and RGB at the same time, because I currently can't. Still looks pretty good in the S video though. One nice thing about the Turbo Rs. Oops. now I'm probably screwed. Just kill me. Let's mess around with the sound test a little. Again, I'll do real recordings and probably some direct comparisons, but for now, let's just give it a try. Die, Alesta, die. So if I remember, it's ST space. Bam. Reset. This will be faster. Yeah, I think it was ST space, right? There we go. Yeah. So let's see. No, it's got kind of a very piano-y bubble sound to it, and I like it. Yeah. The thing was worth the wait. I'm glad I held on to this crusty old module for it. I really like how that sounds. Cool. This was always one of my favorites. Nice bass line. Do. Nice drums. Yeah. That almost sounds like, yeah, it's like Doom and Alesta crossed together. Yeah. Definitely worth a purchase. Are you annoyed yet? God, that sounds beautiful. Well, anyway, yeah. I'll do some direct recordings, because then, you know, you'll get better quality than the camera's microphone, and, yeah, if you're kind of a crazy fool like myself, and you got an MSX, some real cards, yeah. And you actually have a MIDI module. MSX MIDI PAC is cool shit, man. So, I'm far from an expert as far as MIDI devices go, but if you got any questions, let me know, and can't wait to do some more comparison vids, because, you know, we got like Alesta 2, and definitely Laydoc 2. That one's got some nice FM music. Curious to see how Frey works, since Frey actually does use the PSG as well as the FM at the same time. Most of what I got are Konami games, and yeah, they're all PSG and sound wonderful, but totally useless with the MIDI pack. So yeah, go bang a North Korean chick. Wish I could, and yeah, I'll be back soon, sometime, like always. Good night.